It has been reported that the Pittsburgh Steelers are one of two teams alongside the New England Patriots that are very interested in trading for wide receiver Denzel Mims of the New York Jets. So, the NFL Network's Mike Garafolo reported earlier today the Jets are planning to release wide receiver Denzel Mims if a trade partner cannot be found. But then Ian Rappaport reported that the Jets did not release wide receiver Denzel Mims today, despite informing him of their plans. This keeps open the possibility of a trade. And then, a few minutes just ago, it has been reported that the Pittsburgh Steelers are very interested in adding Denzel Mims to the team alongside the New England Patriots. So, on the screen right now, I'm going to put up the two people who have reported this. The one person, I don't really know who he is exactly. His name is Matt Lombardo. Here's what his profile says. He has many followers. He's part of a network, so he's not lying when he's breaking this news. He has reported that two teams that are in the mix on Denzel Mims are the Steelers and the Patriots, according to league sources, and he's a part of Heavy on Sports. But the next person, this one's the more popular person who actually breaks news. They said another thing to keep eyes on regarding Mims is his former wide receiver coach and PGC at Baylor. Friesman Jackson is now the wide receivers coach with the Steelers, another team mentioned to be in on Denzel Mims. So she has reported that the Pittsburgh Steelers are interested and has confirmed the other guys' reports. She was also part of ESPN, has been on CBS Sports, as you see in her description in her profile. She has 240,000 followers and her name is Josina Anderson. So now that we got the sources out of the way and you guys don't think I'm just making up news, here's the rest of the story. So, if the Pittsburgh Steelers were interested in adding Denzel Mims, it should not take much to trade for him because the Jets already plan to release him anyway, so all they would have to probably give up, I would think, would be a 7th round draft pick. And maybe not even a 7th round, maybe it would have some protection on it. Like if Denzel Mims doesn't make the 53-man roster, then maybe the trade won't happen. Like we've seen them do for Washington's cornerback last season at the trade deadline. They traded for him, but it was a protection kind of pick, so he didn't end up playing for the Steelers at all and went straight on IR, meaning the Steelers didn't have to give up any draft pick. And maybe it would be the same thing for Denzel Mims too. The Jets are planning on releasing him, so might as well try to get a 7th round draft pick. It would be no more than, I believe, a 7th rounder. We've seen the Steelers make these kind of trades before. If you remember, a couple seasons ago, the Steelers traded with the Seattle Seahawks for Ahkello Witherspoon for like a 5th round draft pick, I'm pretty sure it was, and then they got Ahkello Witherspoon. And then last offseason, the Steelers traded for outside linebacker with the Denver Broncos, Malik Reed. Malik Reed was probably going to be released by the Broncos, but the Steelers decided to trade for him before he hit waivers. And just this offseason as well, the Steelers already traded for Allen Robinson at the wide receiver position. So we've seen the Steelers trade late round draft picks for players they believe could make an impact on their team. And this could be another case with Denzel Mims. Trading a late round draft pick, not trading too much, a guy with great value for only a 7th round pick. That could be a really good pickup for the Steelers if he actually ends up producing up to his potential. Just in case if you don't know who Denzel Mims is, let me just give you some background information on him. So, he played with Baylor in college from 2016 to 2019. And, like I said, his wide receivers coach during the last of those 2 seasons was Friesman Jackson, who's currently the Pittsburgh Steelers wide receivers coach. Under Jackson, those last 2 years, Mims had 121 receptions for 1,814 yards and 20 touchdowns in a total of 25 games. And then that led to him increasing his draft stock. He got selected by the New York Jets in the 2020 draft in the 2nd round. So he was a high value pick from the Jets, but just has not worked out so far in his career. Mims hasn't had a lot of success, like I said, at the NFL level. He's only had 42 receptions for 676 yards and 0 touchdowns in his first 3 seasons in the league. But you could blame that kind of on the quarterback play, because when you think about it, the 2 primary quarterbacks in New York during his time there has been Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson. Those 2 quarterbacks are not it. And you could see based off their play on the field. And now they added Aaron Rodgers. And when you think of the New York Jets, they're kind of making a clean sweep at their roster and at the wide receiver position. They've added multiple guys who were with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, like Allen Lazard, Randall Cobb, and even some other guys. So they're kind of having a clean sweep on their team and on their offense and rebuilding it around Aaron Rodgers. And Denzel Mims, I guess, doesn't fit into their plans, and that's why they're kind of releasing him. Even though they spent a second-round draft pick on him, I guess his time in New York has come to an end, and they're not willing to give him any more chances because they brought in other guys to surround Aaron Rodgers and guys who Aaron Rodgers feels comfortable with. So, Denzel Mims, if he does not find a place on a trade block, either with the Patriots or the Steelers, he's going to be released. So, if the Steelers decide to trade for him, it shouldn't take much. Now, let me just give you my thoughts on the whole situation, because on the surface level, you kind of got me thinking, why would the Steelers even be interested in Denzel Mims? Their wide receiver room is really stacked right now. I believe if it wasn't for their wide receivers coach, they wouldn't have much kind of interest in him. But if you add Denzel Mims to the team, like I said, there might be a protection on the pick that you're trading away, that if he doesn't make the 53-man roster, the trade kind of gets canceled and it doesn't even work out to anything, just like the Steelers did with Washington for their cornerback at the trade deadline. So adding Mims to the team, right now the roster is very stacked. When you think about it, the Steelers have 4 guys who are their main guys: Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, Allen Robinson, and Kelvin Austin. But then the 4th and 5th guy is really up in the air right now. They have Gunnar Olszewski battling out with Miles Boykin and Hakeem Butler, who they've added from the XFL. So Denzel Mims will kind of be in a fight for the 5th and 6th wide receiver spot if they decide to keep 6 wide receivers, meaning that he actually has a chance to make the roster. And he could have kind of unlock his potential because he's the same build wide receiver as George Pickens and some of the other guys on the team. His body build is kind of that slim guy and bigger guy, not a pure route runner, but a bigger guy like Allen Robinson. So Allen Robinson, being in the league for a while, maybe if he makes a roster, he could kind of mentor him and show him the ways, and maybe his potential could be unlocked under wide receivers coach Friesman Jackson. Who knows? On the surface level, it makes you think, why would the Steelers be interested in him? But then when you think about it, if you only have to give up a late round draft pick, you might as well just see what you have in the guy and see maybe if he could unlock that hidden potential that he showed out in college that made him the 2nd round draft pick. Because he was a 2nd round draft pick for a reason. It wasn't just no fluke that he got picked in the 2nd round. He could have easily went in the 4th, 5th, or 6th round. But obviously the Jets and other teams saw something in him and saw something in him based off his production at the college level. His wide receivers coach seen something in him, and his play on the field showed something. He wouldn't have all those yards and be productive in college if he wasn't a good wide receiver. You just don't show out like that if you're not a solid guy. Yes, he had some down quarterback play with the Jets, so if the Steelers have a consistent guy in Kenny Pickett now and could improve and kind of grow together, this is only Kenny Pickett's 2nd season, and Denzel Mims coming in, he's still a young guy, so they could continue to grow together, build that relationship, and maybe, just maybe, he'll unlock his hidden potential for the Steelers. But with that being said, these 2 people are reporting that the Steelers have major interest in Denzel Mims alongside the New England Patriots and might trade for him so that the waivers doesn't have to go through the whole league. Because if he gets released, then any team could pick him up through the waivers. So if the Steelers trade for him, then they'll get him and not have to worry about putting a claim in for him and another team coming in and swooping him away. Him being added to the roster, he would be the 5th wide receiver. There wouldn't be as much pressure on him as there was in the New York Jets system, because the Jets had Garrett Wilson, but then their 2nd and 3rd wide receivers weren't a lock. So there's more pressure on him to succeed. Now coming into the Steelers, if he is traded to them, there won't be pressure on him to step up because he'll be behind a lot of guys on the team and he'll get minimal chances, meaning that there's not too much pressure for him to succeed here. So with that being said, let me know down in the comments below. How do you feel with this? How do you feel about these 2 people reporting that the Steelers have major interest in potentially trading for wide receiver Denzel Mims? Did you like him coming out of college? Do you like his game altogether? Do you believe the Steelers should try trading a 7th round pick for him? Do you believe they shouldn't? Do you not like his game? Do you believe their wide receiver room is already stacked as it is and they don't need to add more people to that room? Do you believe that he's a bust? Let me know your thoughts on Denzel Mims. the Pittsburgh Steelers potentially added him to the roster. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well if you like Steelers content, analysis, and reports. Like the video, turn on post notifications down below for the channel as well, so you get notified whenever I post the next Steelers video. I cover everything Pittsburgh Steelers news, rumors, and reports. This one's more of a rumor, but it's not even a really rumor because these two high-level people are reporting that the Pittsburgh Steelers have interest. But I cover everything Steelers. This is the best spot to keep up to date with everything, and the season's just around the corner. So like, comment, and subscribe with notifications on. Click that little bell down below so you never miss out, and get that notification whenever I post a video. And I'll see you guys all later. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.